Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the 29th of December episode of the Beer Blades and Bushcraft live stream. I do have beer. I do have a blade. And we shall be talking about bushcrafty things tonight, I am absolutely sure. Before we go any further, I want to say up front what I usually say kind of too late, and that's that if you can't be here live while I'm yammering at you and you're watching us time shifted to tomorrow or later in the week or whatever, thank you. I very much appreciate that. So, without much further ado, I want to introduce the subject of tonight's live stream, and that is tell me about the swag you got for Christmas. I have, I think, almost everything sitting here around me. I'm hoping that some of you guys got some great outdoorsy stuff. In my case, because I'm still only 3 months into my 6-month bushcraft item purchasing moratorium, I did not ask for anything of the sort this year. And instead, I got some very cool non-outdoorsy related stuff. I would like to know if you guys can hear me okay. Just because I came sort of bolting down here and set up and I still haven't redone my setup since a couple of weeks back when I had pulled everything apart to do music. So I just sort of start and hope for the best, you know? So who's with me? We got Kincaid Outdoors saying hi to Johnny, who strangely didn't say hey yo before going to work today. I hope he's okay. And again, because I'm in the basement, my sinuses are going crazy, but we're just going to get through it. Okay, guys. Tenenbaum, how's it going? Tyler, hi. Mark, how's it going? Tenenbaum likes the sound. So does Tyler. Mark says it's great. Brandon Cosman, how are you doing? I'm glad you can hear me. Oh, I also want to say something off the bat. While I was doing my setup and I had myself in this studio, I got kicked offline. So if I suddenly disappear, don't go anywhere. I will either get back online as quickly as I can, or if I have to start another live stream, I will grab that address and try to either drop it here or tell one of my mods so that everyone can meet me at the other live stream if I can't get back into this one, if I get kicked offline while live streaming. Because, excuse me, because I am afraid that getting kicked offline earlier was a sign of things to come. I do not know what the hell is up with my network. And I have done many deep dives to try and figure it out. And I'm like way over my head in this stuff. So we're just going to hope for the best, okay? Cross your fingers if you're North American. Hold your thumbs if you're Tenenbaum. Hey, IRC, how's it going? One of these days, IRC, I'm going to have a bottle of Screech for one of these live streams, just sort of in your honor. Hey, Grace. Hi, with Mike is here. I'm doing okay. How are you? So, yeah, I figure Christmas is just past. My smaller daughter's second birthday. Oh, okay. Please note, I am not wearing a branded t-shirt tonight. I'm sorry about that. I could say that I'm wearing this t-shirt to celebrate the fact that I have finally started watching The Mandalorian. But the truth of the matter is just that the youngest daughter is still not asleep. And so I'm not walking up those creaky old stairs for a t-shirt. So tonight it's all about the Star Wars. When you think about it, all galaxies are far, far away. Now let's get on with the live stream, shall we? So, 10,000 Thundering Typhoons. Somebody's a Tan fan here. That would be me. But Hike with Mike and I think we can agree on that. So yeah, I got some cool stuff. One of which is actually a blade. I got what this is a scraper for spoon carving, like the inside bowl of spoons. So I think I've got one here that I never finished. Okay, so like the inside bowl of a spoon, you take this and you just, I mean, you guys know how a scraper works, right? You just sort of scrape and scrape and scrape. I mean, this scraper needs to be sharpened in a big way, but that's what the theory is. It works the same as a cabinet scraper or anything. It's just it's curved for the inside bowl of the spoon. So that's how that works, and that's cool. And it was very affordable. It's from Lee Valley. Actually, I got a bunch of Lee Valley things, so like stuff that you guys would find very boring, and to be honest, so would I. But it's stuff that I've kind of wanted for the workshop. Like what these, come on, like what these are glue syringes for if you have just like a sliver of wood coming up. You can just put like a little tiny bead of glue in there and push it down, rather than getting glue all over the place and you have to sort of sand the whole thing off and everything. Again, very affordable. I'm very happy to have them. This thing is a spacing guide for, do I have them here or in the workshop? No, I got them here. Okay. What these are letters, like letter punches that I can't get open. Okay, so little tiny letters, okay? You can, hit them with a hammer to punch a letter into wood. What this does is it's a guide for spacing them out. You sort of have measurements there and you measure it on and then puck and then just keep on going. It's 2 different sizes. Again, possibly not the most interesting thing, but it's something I've kind of wanted to have in my toolbox for a long time. Check this out. I know what I'm going to be doing all summer. It's a very cool book. It's a very old school book. But in some ways, I'm an old school type of guy, so I think it's pretty cool. My dad sent me this. It's Christmas cocktail or holiday cocktails, I guess. I haven't had time to really explore this. Oh, itchy eye. Haven't had time to really explore this book yet. But I'm looking forward to diving into it. However, the missus gave me this. Now, in the cocktail world, this book is a big deal. Okay, Death and Company is a seminal cocktail bar in New York City, in Manhattan, and the bartending there is of a very high caliber, and they've created a lot of what have become the modern classic cocktails, and so it's got like the science of shaking, or the science of stirring, or the choosing the right kind of jigger or whatever. It's got from some of their regulars, like their favorite cocktails with a recipe. I'm trying to get this on screen, and then it's just got a whole bunch of cocktail recipes. So I'm very into that. Since the world shut down, I have thrown a lot of work into improving my cocktail. I'm not going to use the term mixology because that's a bloody hipster term, but my cocktail making, I want to sort of dive into the science of it a bit more. And there's a little bit of that in this book. There's a section on how certain tastes go well together. So I am, when life calms down a bit, I'm going to explore that in a big way. Yes. Christmas, Clemence's birthday, and New Year's hit pretty hard and fast around here, so I haven't had time to really dive into all this stuff. I got a small engineer square, again from Lee Valley. This is the 3-inch version. The reason why you want an engineer square is if you've got like a table saw and you're adjusting, you need like an exact 90 degrees or whatever. You can't always really go by the measurements etched into the tool itself. Or even if you can, it's always good to have a second opinion. So you put that on there, make sure it's all. I'm just giving you guys an example out of the ether here. And then a couple of things for live streaming. What I have here is like a power adapter to plug my DSLR into the wall so that I can live stream for 2 hours without the battery, essentially leaving on me halfway through. So I wanted that so that I could start using my real camera, because I find that this camera, the way it reacts with the light and everything, just ain't good for you guys. And this is cool. This is an arm to put this mic onto. As well as all sorts of associated bits and pieces, like here's a pop filter and stuff. So my plan is to hopefully, but I'm not sure, clamp it onto this shelf I have above here. If not, I'll just clamp it onto the desk. So why is all this not all set up? I just didn't have time. But I'm hoping that I will have it set up fairly soon. Like, remember, I was going to spend this holiday changing out this desk and everything, and it's just nothing happened. Nothing got done. And that's for no better reason than, I mean, look, there are 2 kids, and we've been running like chickens with our heads off to do Christmas and Clemence's birthday, and obviously New Year's is coming up. And because we usually don't spend New Year's here, we actually have to put some work into it this year, kind of. But anyways, who cares? That's me. No bushcraft stuff. But as I said, that's the essence of a moratorium. So, let me just make sure. Okay, so you guys are all, hold on. Bashy Bazooka. Oh, okay, so you guys are all doing the Captain Haddock stuff, blue blistering barnacles. Hike with Mike. I did not know that. I did not know that Thompson & Thompson was... I don't know why I didn't know that. I absolutely don't know why I didn't realize that the Thompson twins were named after them. That is ridiculous. How did I not know that? I mean, like, as soon as you said it, click, right? Interesting. Very interesting. Sajad is here. Oh, and then he's gone to bed. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's late where you are. But thanks for swinging by. Hey there, Lakes and Hikes. How's it going? Grace, it's not salad, it's Sajad. Oh, I see. Wait, what? Simo fell on his laptop. He's gluing the pieces together. Hopes to be on soon. Okay. Tyler's got stuff. He's got bush stuff. I do want to say, I forgot. I'm going to just drop the invite now. If anyone wants to come on and tell us all about the swag that they got for Christmas, then come on. You don't have to stay on for the whole stream if you come on, by the way. You guys can come on for 5 minutes, say, look at all this great stuff I got, and then say sayonara. I know that some people like to stay on for a shorter period because they like to leave some space for other guests. I'm fine with that. I'm also fine with somebody hanging out for the whole time and helping me double team the audience. But yeah, I'm gonna try to set up the mic and everything for next time. Man, life gets away from you during the holidays, eh? It's just crazy. The first thing I'm going to do is test this power adapter for the camera, because I bought one at one point and it didn't work. So my default setting is this isn't going to work. So I'm going to test that before doing my next live stream. I want to test a few things. I think I've found a way to use OBS and get people, like guests, on. without using StreamYard, which would be cool because it would mean that I could use the full the full 1080p of my camera rather than this stupid 720 crap. But yeah, let me see. Tyler also got a couple of tools. Austin's here. How's it going? All right, yeah. All right, Lakes. You're gonna make me all jealous. Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
I'm just here to make you jealous, like you were saying.
Just like Lakes and Hikes kind of doesn't want to do, but I want to know what he has.
I have absolutely no problem. I have no remorse.
I know it. I know it well.
I've got a box for you. It'll get to you eventually after the beer virus is gone.
No,
I'm kind of made out well this Christmas. I wasn't too disappointed at all, especially not for COVID. It's crazy.
I'm glad you mentioned that not disappointing thing because I want to clarify that I'm not disappointed with the stuff I got. This is all stuff that I asked for, so I'm not, I'm not trying to put a bright face on not having gotten Bushcraft stuff. This is a very good haul for me.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people were just thinking about wanting to have some semblance of normalcy, just amid all the craziness. And I think we tried pretty hard to do that, especially in my family, and we were successful at least. We didn't have a big Christmas, but there's the Zoom call, and we exchanged presents, at distance, and then opened them up over camera. And all in all, I think I was more grateful for everything this Christmas than I was last Christmas, for sure. I still have all of my people, which in and of itself is a lot. But okay, time to make you jealous.
Except that you said something interesting that I also think maybe we tend to forget about. It might have been more important to feel grateful this year than it has in years past because of what you're saying.
Yeah.
And because I know people who've gotten very, very sick, but I haven't personally lost anyone. And I do know a lot of people. No, I don't know a lot, like legions of people, but there's a little bombast there, but I do know several people who have literally lost people. So thanks for reminding me that maybe we should be focusing a bit on the positive here this year and, feeling each other in whatever way we can.
I had the same philosophy. I had a conversation with my aunt shortly a couple of days ago. She's stuck in Tennessee, and normally we get to see each other every year. And we had that same conversation. Like, I'm not even going to complain because both of us have all of our people right now. Mm-hmm. And a significant portion of the world does not.
Yep, very true.
But yeah, okay, jealousy for Jess time. Maybe that's what we should have called this live stream.
Jealousy for Jess?
Yeah. I was given not one, but two Aran sweaters out of Ireland. They're the fisherman pattern. I love them. I have one in Caspian blue and then one in this perfectly Irish moss green color.
Show me the blue one again.
This one?
Yeah. Guess I'm a real classicist. I like that. Because I like a nice Aran sweater. I haven't had one for years and years and years. But I'm a classicist, right? I want the sort of the raw white wool.
I have a couple of them. Nick is actually wearing one right now.
Yeah,
one of mine because she's a thief, but that's okay. It's what happens when you put rings on things.
Yeah, absolutely. But I like that blue one. That one really sort of caught my eye. I like that.
Yeah, the Caspian blue is a really good. It's like a muted cottagey color, I think. I got two sets of gunsmith screwdrivers. They're parallel ground, one for the bench and one to go on the range box, which I am totally digging because Grace USA, I don't know if any of you in the audience are big tool heads, but Grace USA makes gorgeous oil blued screwdrivers that I just dig the hell out of.
That's good to know.
The stuff that's on the way, I have two 90%, like those Italian officer repro blankets that Dave Canterbury is constantly using.
Yep.
Two of those on the way. I already have one. I just can't stop getting them, which is not even a bad thing.
Are they expensive?
They're not bad at all. They're, you know what? Let me just grab the link because I know it's close by. I think they're a little over twin size, but they're like $39-$40 US. Oh no, they're $35 US.
Okay.
Let me see if I can drop that link in the chat real quick for everybody. There's that blanket. Okay. But they're not bad at all. I like them a lot. They're a little bigger than twin size. they're not a heavy pile, but they're very tightly woven. So to me, it's a good trade-off.
Yeah.
I have a French trade knife by Jeff White on the way because I have a serious problem when it comes to refusing Jeff White things. I see Jeff White and it's like, I don't know, man. They make the comparison about junkies and getting shots of things, and I think Jeff White just might be my drug.
I like the Jeff White magic as well. I keep meaning to pick up. There's a couple of different designs that I would like to get.
Yeah,
but I just
gorgeous.
Yeah,
all of them are gorgeous.
Yeah,
but yeah, so the French trade knife is a straight blade. It's not a drop point; it's a straight point, and then just a really simple, elegant point on. I think it's 5.5 inches long.
Yeah, they're long,
an inch wide.
Yeah,
but they're really good. I like them. Made one, wasn't as good as he was going to make, so I'm going to get his and take measurements and make more. And then someone invested in C&H Rustic Works this year. They gave us $500, no interest, at I think 15% until it's paid off, and that's it. Nice. And then from there on out, they only want a 2% share, which cool, man. For like sure. That. And that's actually a lot of supplies for us. Nick is very low impact as far as her side of the business, so she'll have a bunch of stuff coming in. I'll have a reasonable amount of stuff coming in, but the value trade-off is totally there for me.
Yeah, your side of the business is a lot more expensive, I think.
Yes, very. Namely leather and blade steel. To buy good leather is expensive. Solid veg tan, even if it's not dyed. Veg tan just takes a long time to make compared to cheap chrome tan and stuff. Not that chrome tan's cheap, but chrome tan is a really pliable leather, whereas veg tan is the stuff they make shoe soles out of.
Yep.
So it does take a very long time to make. Chrome tan, it just sits in chrome salts for like 8 hours and it's done. Veg tan is like days or weeks. Yeah. But no, I was extremely pleased this year, and I almost feel a little bit spoiled. I kind of feel guilty getting all of the stuff and talking about it, but that's the point of the live stream for now. So
yeah, I just want to hear what everyone got. I think it's a great way to sort of let people brag a little bit and lighten up the world for us. This we happy few.
Yeah,
yeah. Sorry, I'm pouring my beer, so that's why I'm sort of looking down here instead of up.
And not on camera.
Well, it's because I blew the frickin' head again. I was trying to hide it.
That's not too bad.
No.
Sarah must be watching.
Yeah.
No. It feels weird being so separated from everyone for so long, and then I don't know. It was a culture shock almost, to be entirely honest, because we don't talk to a lot of people when they're not in our day to day.
Yep.
But we have these habits around Christmas where we just expect people to be in our lives, and they expect us to be in their lives. And
yep, absolutely.
Not that I'm not already exhausted by social and family gatherings, because I'm an introvert, and that's how we are. But this year, it was both really ingratiating to a lot of people and very taxing.
Yeah, I get that. And I too am an introvert. So I find the holidays, I hate New Year's, dude. I hate it.
We don't even celebrate it.
I have always hated New Year's. Like long term, man. I've when I'm gigging New Year's, I'm okay because I'm making money. And when I'm on stage, I sort of it's the stage Jesse. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I know the feel.
But if I'm not like on stage with a bass strapped on or something, I am like so introverted. And New Year's for guys like us, I'm assuming guys like us, is just a freaking nightmare.
To me, it's kind of like, what's the point?
Well, I don't even think it's a real holiday. That's the thing. I think it's an excuse for people to get, 3 sheets to the wind.
Yeah.
And it's just such an arbitrary, like today is the first day of the year.
Cool.
Okay, except that why? Like how many societies, like older societies that, have been slaughtered by the society we're in, had like an actual event to start the year off, right? The Day of the Dead for the Celts, right? Halloween. So many societies, it's like it's a harvest thing. They started in like spring, around March, April, whatever. or maybe it's a solstice thing, or
At least the harvest of the solstice has a reason.
there's something there. Whereas I can't figure out why.
Humans like numbers, man. We like zeros and ones.
Yeah.
Whatever. No, I'm with you. I don't mean to like rag on anybody who celebrates New Year's. Like, if that's your prerogative, you do you.
Yeah, do you? Yeah.
I have never enjoyed the whole, hey, stay up with me until midnight and be loud when it's normally quiet time and vibe time, and just not my thing.
Yeah, the best New Year's I've ever had where I wasn't gigging was I have a friend who, now lives in Toronto. He's a screenwriter. His name is Nick. And one year, my girlfriend at the time and I went to his place for New Year's, and it was just me, my partner, him and his partner. We had supper. We sat around, we chatted, and at midnight we watched the fireworks over Mont Royal. And then, my girl and I went home.
Yeah.
That was like to do. Awesome. But
Nick and I have plans to do basically that, but with ourselves.
Yep. So I don't really know how it's going to go down this year. We're probably going to have a FaceTime or a Zoom or whatever. I know that my girls all have fancy little dresses, because even if we're not going to be with people, there's no reason not to dress up and celebrate.
It's still cutesy, but at least my opinion is thus with the Zoom calls. At least with a Zoom call, you have the option to like step off camera and pull off the mask for a second and
breathe.
And go take a shot. I don't know. I hope no one's family is that bad to them, but but it provides a layer of not anonymity, but a buffer between the obligation, I guess. You can take it off much quicker that way. At least I've come to appreciate that.
Yep. Yeah, I get that. I'm just going to make sure that we're not missing anyone. So Simone is here. How's it going? Sure. Jonathan Millie, hey. It's a pretty good holiday season so far. Excuse me. Hawaii Volcano Squad's here. How's it? Hold on. Okay, fair enough. He doesn't need no New Year's excuse for a drink. Fawcett's here. Lakes and hikes. I always thought of aliens. This is an interesting little comment. I always thought that if aliens observe us, they see us cheer every time we go around the sun like lunatics. Which is funny because that's what birthdays are.
Yeah.
Right?
I told Nick that, and she told me that this year's. Hey, made another trip around the sun. Nice job. I'll see you in another however many million miles it is.
Just another year closer to death. So Cliff's here.
The sweet release of Cosmic Erasal. This is a bit dark for a live stream. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's. I mean, you got some really nice swag. I got some cool stuff. Not like. I also got a mixing glass. Do you know what that is?
I mean, loosely.
Yeah, they're essentially. I believe that they come from Japan originally. I think they originally came out of the Japanese cocktail culture. It's essentially like not a graduated cylinder, but like it's essentially a pitcher with no handle on it and a little spout with a really heavy bottom. They're usually made of crystal or something. It's for mixing cocktails in. Cocktails where you're not shaking, because generally if you're using like lemon juice or something opaque, you shake, and if it's all clear liquids, you mix. And
I so that's cool.
I've been mixing in like pint glasses and mason jars, and so I finally got a real mixing glass, because it kind of looks cheesy on video when you're mixing in the bottom of a pint glass. So if I'm gonna do more cocktail videos, I may as well have the proper equipment.
No, that's cool. I guess I'm always used to seeing sangria in them. For some reason, my family always just puts sangria in those things.
Okay.
Which personally, you can totally feel free to educate me or tell me off. Why no handle? What is the point?
Okay, that's because they're small, right?
Yeah,
they're like little 500 mil, and it's because you're gonna put like a julep strainer in it, and you just sort of I didn't bring it. You hold it around, and with the top of your fingers, you hold the strainer in, and then you don't really pour. I'm not gonna mime the whole pouring thing there, and then you pour. I think the no handle is just one reason is in a bar situation, a handle's just one more thing to snap off because it's crystal, right?
I guess that's true.
So, anyways,
That makes sense.
Interestingly, I got all this great cocktail stuff, and I went and I bought a bottle or two before the holidays, and I've only had one drink this entire holiday, aside from the beer I'm having right now.
Nice question mark.
Right? It's just a big. I've been making drinks for other people. I just don't have time, don't feel like it, don't have the energy. I did one drink. Some of you guys, hold on a second.
All right, the live stream's mine, everyone.
So no, I'm back. I just didn't want to sneeze, like, you know. I did this cocktail video a while ago called the Canoe Hound, and I challenged Dennis from Canoe Hound Adventures to make himself one and get back to me. And I got this text of a picture of him with one. It said, "Hey, I made mine with mead instead of honey syrup. What do you think of that?" So I immediately ran out and bought a bottle of mead, and I made myself one. So that's the one drink I've made this holiday season. And by the way, his variant is so much better than my original recipe. So I've shot another video about that, and it's going to go up if I ever get time to edit a video.
That's fitting. I mean, he's the namesake after all.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Hey, Outdoor Dauber's here. How's it going?
Dauber, hi.
Oh, hi, Dauber. Hold on.
No,
people are telling us what they got. So says the only cool thing I got was a little countertop dehydrator. Nice. I have a countertop dehydrator. Very useful if you don't live with someone who can't stand the smell of jerky being made.
Flying fox.
Oh, he's got a flying fox. Nice. Those are really, really nice. And I hear that they, for the price, are quite amazing.
Yeah, those are kind of on my bomb-proof list.
Yeah. Nice. I'm assuming, Cliff, that you're talking about the council to a flying fox. Some guys use those as a throwing axe. Mark is congratulating you for almost making me destroy.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was kind of hoping you would, in that passing a car wreck kind of awful way.
That would have been anyway
expensive.
Yeah. Just making sure that we're not missing anything here. I think I know what your boy got. Maybe offline at some point I'll ask you a couple of questions about it.
Nice.
I keep wanting to get my daughter a pellet thing I'm not supposed to mention, but I don't know how that'll go over with the missus. It's a starter step.
You could always have a conversation with them both.
Yeah.
All right, no more of that.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get the hell away from that. I'm just pouring the rest of my... Oh, I forgot to tell you guys about the beer. This is called the Tupi. It's a Tabernac. It's an IPA style beer by the microbrasserie Tadoussac, which is in Tadoussac, Quebec. This is a bière de style IPA au flocon d'avoine. So it's an IPA style beer with flakes of Simon oat. I think Avon oats, oat flakes.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it good? Does it change the texture enough that you don't like the experience or like it a lot more? Or is it just kind of there?
Well, I'm a guy who can't stand the IPA thing. So it's a little calmed down. The bitterness is a little down. The citrus is a little down. So it's palatable, but I wouldn't buy it. I like this microbrasserie, but I don't like IPA.
That's fair. You are Canadian after all.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's got to be a stronger,
darker. You're not supposed to drink beer unless you can chew it. What are you doing, man?
Exactly, I know. Let me see. Hey, Jonathan says the only sort of neat gear I got this year was a hero clip. I know those carabiners. Those are sort of the I've seen ads for them on the social medias.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I kind of want one, actually, just looking at it.
Dauber is, of course, taking me down. Dauber left a comment on my my second channel, my whiskey channel. I was doing a whiskey review, and he totally took me down for it. It was
Some what is it? Lavender and notes of lavender and vanilla or something.
It was funny. I liked it. Nothing wrong with the smell of beef jerky dehydrating. Try drying 6 different herbs at once. That's an unsettling smell, to say the least. Yeah, I've never. It's funny. I've only ever used my dehydrator for jerky.
Nice.
I haven't even used it for like fruit or anything. But I'm definitely going to start exploring it more for stuff like that. Because if you go, I don't know why I'm telling you this, Tyler. You freaking know this. But if you're packing like a week's worth of food or something, dehydrate everything.
Oh yeah.
Don't bring a jar of spaghetti sauce. Dehydrate your damn spaghetti sauce. Throw a bit of water in out there and boil it up.
I have a fun bush story about that.
One thing I know is that if you say, "Oh, I have a fun bush story," it's like, okay, everybody shut up and listen.
So I'm assuming most of you're all relatively kind of well known in the hiking world's Isle Royale, I guess, wherever you pronounce it from. One of my dad's first big hikes was on Isle Royale, and you have to take a ferry or a plane there. I think it was just ferry at the time. I don't know if they still do flights, but it was like his first real hike. He'd always just camped and done base camp, and he was kind of into the whole thing.
Yeah.
But he just got set up with like really nice backpack and boots. So he got himself long-term gear because he wanted to do it a lot.
Yeah.
But my dad's opening pack weight was something like 60 pounds.
Okay.
And it's so dumb to think about. But he did like everything else right, to his credit. He brought the lightweight, med kit and still had sil nylon and stuff to go on. But my dad had hiked Isle Royale with a full sack of pita bread, like flatbread, and a jar of pickles. Not bagged, emptied out pickles. I mean, like, this man straight up hauled a quart jar of pickles across Isle Royale.
Now, don't get me wrong. I like me some pickles. Like, I like the dill.
Not that much.
But not enough to haul a full jar across any part of the outdoors.
And for those of you that don't know, who haven't been like around the area, because Isle Royale can kind of be expensive nowadays. Isle Royale is notorious for being super up and down and just awful to hike with weight on. And there's a picture of my dad with not only a quart jar of pickles, but a quart jar of pickles all the way away from his body in the water bottle slot. So yeah, my dad, on his earliest backpacking trip, a lesson I never had to learn, carried a quart jar of pickles in his water bottle sack for like 25 miles.
So packing is not his strong suit.
No, neither is hunting, apparently, as of recent. But he's a cool guy.
Hunting's never been my strong suit either. I'm well, I don't know if I'm bad at it or if the area that my father-in-law just brought us to has no game. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, have you scouted the area for sources and trails by the sources? Because that's always what we do, and that's where I determine how I hunt.
Well, I inherited a built cache.
Oh, so you're hunting the same spot every. Yeah, that's probably part of it too.
Yeah, and I've been before everything sort of collapsed because the man who owned the land died and his wife sold it off. I was growing kind of frustrated and thinking about maybe trying to find another hunting partner to see if maybe my luck would change.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that really go into it for me. One is how often you hunt the area. So I mean, leaving human evidence around. I mean, unless you're into, I won't pretend to know what it's like to hunt in the near boreal areas because I don't live there. But here, at least, they don't even like trail cameras that much. So, let alone leaving human evidence and human scent around repeatedly, they don't like that.
Right.
Because I mean, the if the area is hunted, they come along and come to know it is walk here at the wrong time and die.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's
yeah.
that.
Absolutely. I just want to. IRC said I gave my wife a mixer and a pair of boots. Now she can beat a path for me up in the woods. Let us know how that goes. Grace says I got a nice winter hat with ear flaps. Camping in a couple of weeks, so I might need it. Is that like one of those fur hats, or more of like a toque? What do you guys call a toque? A beanie
I think.
with a knit cap.
What is the difference between a toque and a cap and a whatever for all of the more educated Canucks in my life?
Technically, a beanie and a toque are two different things. A toque is like a heavy knit thing, where with the bottom that sort of rolls up, and it's got a pompon on top or something like that. Whereas a beanie is technically like a thinner, tighter knit, may not have the part that rolls up at the bottom, and does not have a pompon on top.
You Canucks are very serious about your hats. I respect that.
You don't funk around with winter when you're a northern person.
I dig that about you, Jerry.
As soon as you said "I dig," I knew exactly where you were going.
Jerry Maguire is a good film.
Yeah, but yeah, Grace. So is that like a big? What are those hats called? Like with the fur on the inside. They kind of look Soviet. Very warm hat.
Why is that name escaping me? I'm just gonna Google it. Hat with ear flaps.
Yeah. Hawaii got some channel locks. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a couple of good channel locks. And like everyone seems to get two different sizes. Yeah, so you probably got the two sort of standard sizes, and you need them where you're. For those of you who don't know, Hawaii recently got a new place, and it seems like he's always doing work around that place. So that's nice. Happy belated Hanukkah, by the way. Like indeed. Belated as heck.
Ushanka is the hat in Ushanka.
Ushanka? Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one with the fur inside, right?
Yeah, the fur and the pull down flaps, and they all, They look like Ruski hat.
Yes, Ruski. A lot of Canucks have them too, of course. There's a place here in Montreal called crap. I don't remember what it's called. In fact, I think it's gone now, but its whole thing, it was a designer, and she worked with recycled fur, like, old fur coat. Goes to Goodwill. Nobody's selling a fur coat, so she would get it, and she turned all these coats into those like big fur hats or whatever and stuff. And I didn't know how to feel about it, because I always sort of thought, like, I'm not cool with the fur industry, unless it's a byproduct of the food industry.
Oh yeah.
But what she was doing was creating fur without that part of the industry. So I kind of liked it, even though at first, you see fur and you think, oh God, and then you find out what.
I feel the same way. The one thing I don't like about trying to get into the faux fur part of it is having tens of thousands of tiny little plastic monofilaments that you will eventually put in the ground is almost as bad, if not worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I do believe that. I feel about faux fur the way I feel about faux meat. Like, I have no problem with people who make the decision to go vegetarian. In fact, I might be a little less freaking heavy if I made that decision. But like, if I was to go that way, I wouldn't want fake meat, because I would want to not eat the meat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the point is to get away from it. At least if you're going vegetarian for non-medical reasons, most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, for non-medical reasons. That's a good point. And the thing about faux fur versus real fur is, if you're going to use fur, just use the real fur, because you're not using this plastic that will turn into, as plastic degrades, it just turns into smaller and smaller pellets, really. Or
yeah, that's the thing. Plastic doesn't biodegrade; it degrades.
Yeah.
It turns into plastic pellets, like you were saying. And in the U.S. recently, I wish I knew the study offhand. I'm sorry. They looked into how it was harming bird populations, because it's in the fish now.
Yep.
there's plastic content in the fish, and there's
yeah.
nothing we can do now.
Yeah.
And it has loads of problems that are just going to get worse for the next 400 years.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I had this discussion with someone else recently. But you're right. If you're choosing between fur or fur,
Just
use the
use
fur.
the fur. Just use the fur. Yeah. Excuse me.
Or wool. The wool is always good. Ethical wool is much easier than ethical fur. Do that.
Yeah, I like wool. I see no reason not to have wool everywhere. I would like to get. I just had this convo with the missus today, because she went for a little hike with some friends from work today. There's a very specific legal case for taking a walk with someone right now, and she knows exactly how to ride the line, and she's told me how to ride the line with a friend of mine tomorrow. There's distance, there's mass, there's this, there's that, but we kind of need to get the hell out of the house right now.
Yeah,
so she went today. I'm going tomorrow, but she came back and she was cold. And it's like, man, I wish merino was so much, because we both would love like full-on sets of merino base layers, like a couple of them, right? But it's just too expensive when you've got like a mortgage and 2 kids.
I feel you. Dauber said something really good about the fur coming from predators. Dauber, I was glad you said that. That was on my mind, and it slipped me for a second. So in my state, in Michigan, is where I live, we can take coyotes on our small game licenses now without a bag limit.
Okay.
So he's part of it is you can use the fur trade to ethically manage population.
Okay.
Of coyotes, because I mean coyotes are super destructive here. I mean they wreck livestock and do awful things to farms and sometimes people's animals. So that is one way to undo the awfulness. Is coyotes still have a heavy winter coat and it's soft, and you can manage predators ethically and still get fur out of it.
Yep. Yeah, that's I'm really behind on the chat. I'm gonna try to move forward and catch up. I just want to. Fox had said, and he also got some Olites and a camp pot from Bush Buddy to go with the stove. So I guess that's like sized to go on the stove. That sounds like a nice little haul, dude.
I'm not sure. What is an Olite? Is it like a flashlight? Olite.
Olite. It's a flashlight brand. Wait. Yes, this is an Olite.
Nice.
I was about to feel real stupid there if it was the other big name brand. Let me see.
I actually have one then.
There you go.
Like, oh wait. Oh yeah, it's an Olite.
Looks like everyone's got a dehydrator right now.
We got one too.
Yeah, you got one. Well, yeah, for anyone who does anything related to what we do, it's a great tool to have.
I am not about to pay $20 a meal for bush food.
Mm-hmm. Someone is
pita bread and pickles. I wish he was with me so he could tell the story. I'm sure there's more details, but
yeah. Dauber says, I thought I was bad carrying a Dutch oven, and I think that's 5 pounds of chicken.
I think a number 5 can.
What the hell's a number 5 can?
He might mean 5 pounds, just the pound sign, but let me just get the measurements. Number 5 is I hope he didn't carry a number 5 because it's 56 ounces.
So what does that mean though in modern speak? Is that like
that ish? By that ish? That did absolutely nothing for you. I'm sorry.
I know, it kind of did actually, because that looks like a big freaking can to me.
Yeah,
like
you know the
one family sized. Hawaii.
He said 5 pounds. Yeah,
5 pounds. Okay, well, 5 pounds of chicken. Is that
which is probably more than 56 ounces?
Yeah. You're gonna bake bread. Yeah, that's Hawaii. It's tough to get started baking bread, but not because it's actually a tough job. It's just there's a lot to think about when you first start.
Hawaii, us too. We bought the bread Bible a couple of weeks ago. We're gonna start making bread soon. That's more than just bread.
Yeah, nice. Hey, Jason, how's it going? Welcome to the live stream. I want to make. Do you ever watch Tasting History?
Yeah.
You know how he made the Roman bread from Pompeii?
No, but I believe you, obviously.
Because it was weird when I saw that episode because excuse me, he referenced an episode by the British Museum where they had a chef or a baker actually backwards engineer one of the famous sort of loaves from Pompeii that had been preserved but in ash. And I get off on that stuff so big, man. I love that kind of thing,
It's
the
really
historical
cool.
cooking and everything. So I want to make this bread at some point.
I take it you've been subbed to Townsend's for years then?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's a cool channel.
If even getting a catalog from him didn't bankrupt me, I would have a lot of Townsend's kitchen stuff in my kitchen.
And the thing, I mean, I agree. His stuff is absolutely bomb-proof,
Oh.
like zero compromise on the accuracy and all that. But yeah, you're right. It's pricey.
Is that where you discovered the Jeff White knives?
No, I discovered them through Dave Canterbury forever ago. Dave Canterbury carries, I think, still 3 of Jeff White's shop knives on his site.
Okay. Interesting little point. At least the pickle juice would be good for muscle cramps.
I suppose. Didn't know that.
That is some old school knowledge, dude. Yeah, see, here's the thing, right? Like Grace is saying that I would like to bring a Dutch oven into the. Here's what I would like to do. You ever saw that Ray Mears video where he bakes bread in the woods using a Dutch oven? I would love to recreate that video at some point. I mean, I don't have the accent, but just like the whole idea of like packing a Dutch oven into the woods for like outdoor, it's sort of a big thing. But for Ray Mears, man, he's got a crew, right?
Oh yeah,
that Dutch oven went into the woods in the back of a Land Rover. You know what I'm saying? So like one day I would like to just recreate that entire video.
I'd like to do it like 1 or 2 men though, and show all the bumblefudgery that happens when you don't have a crew there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just take, I don't know, maybe shot by shot, show how bad our camp is compared to the god of Ray Mears.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Of course, I mean you don't carry a Dutch oven backpacking. Even Nesmic is like, you're crazy.
Yeah. I mean, if you're transporting your stuff by canoe, you might be able to make the room for it or whatever. But I wouldn't go hiking into the backcountry with cast iron on my back.
No.
And here's the thing. I mean, I have a Dutch oven, but I don't want to bring the kitchen stuff to the woods. Because if something happens to it and I come home without the kitchen Dutch oven,
cool.
that might cause an issue, right?
For me, it wouldn't be a problem. So I am, as far as the cast iron, I am the cast iron meister of the kitchen. Nick is the basically everything else of the kitchen. So I luckily can afford to bring cast iron out, and we have a couple of most things.
We're very similar in that I will only use cast iron in the kitchen, and the missus will use stainless, which just means that I spend all night scrubbing stainless after supper. But
I hate scrubbing stainless.
No, me neither. I don't like it. And I find that it's possible to cook without getting everything, but it takes a certain
constant finesse. Yeah.
Kincaid's doing his 40 question challenge soon. That sounds interesting. Hey, Ethan's here, or did he just? He was here. Oh well, it's too bad. I would have liked to have asked that guy what he got for. Hold on, I'm just sort of. Outdoor Dauber says he's not known for going lightweight. Apparently, no.
Not with a Dutch oven, you're not.
Yeah. Okay. So what Grace got was the fur one. Nice.
That's cool. I like that.
Mark says that we Canucks deal with deep cold, Mr. Tyler.
So is this a beanie or a toque?
I would call that a toque.
Toque? How's this? Is it spelled a bajillion different ways? Is it one of those words?
There's only 2 ways to spell it. Tuque or Toque.
Okay.
And they're both pronounced toque.
Really?
Haven't you ever watched like Bob and Doug McKenzie?
I have no idea who that even is.
It's because it's way, way too old for you. Okay, here's what I want you to do.
Oh, great. Homework.
Yeah. I want you to Google Bob and Doug McKenzie.
All right.
I think they were on either SCTV or Saturday Night Live
Adam,
before you were born.
definitely before I was born.
And watch some vids, because a whole lot of the Canadian, a whole lot of Americans knowing sort of the Canadian cliches are embodied by Bob and Doug McKenzie.
That's their character then, is overly Canadians, I'm guessing.
Absolutely. They're the ones who sort of made the phrase "the Great White North" big for Canada.
I always thought that was Jack London.
But
no, like that. It's just before my time. I wouldn't have known.
But what I mean by big, I mean like TV big, not book big.
Oh yeah. Household kind of thing.
Yes.
Outsiders get it.
Exactly. Oh my God, I am so
We Canucks
behind.
Deep cold. Agreed.
Yeah. Oh, we got a link from Dauber. I guess. Oh, the bomber hat. I thought the bomber hat was a smaller, like a thinner fur though than the big sort of Soviet.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the bomber hat, the Ushan, because I remember being like poofy,
Yeah.
Like as if they were made with bear fur or something.
Right. Hawaii says I blame Brexit on the metric system.
You blame Brexit on the metric system? Fair enough, I guess.
Which is weird because even the UK is metric now. Although the UK is a bit like Canada. There's a generational thing there. Like my mom.
Oh, imperial as hell? Or metric as hell?
Well, I was going to say my mom would say that metric is hell, but even she didn't. But like her parents hated metric because it came so late in their lives that it was like, what's the point? Whereas to someone my age, I'm 2 years from 50, I have no idea what an inch looks like, but I know it's 2.5 centimeters. So, okay, now I do know what an inch looks like.
Yeah, to me, I wouldn't care. I just don't want to keep buying 2 sets of tools. Damn it, dude, figure it out.
Yeah, especially if you're into like, I don't know about automotive, but like anything with a ratchet set, it seems you automatically need 2.
I can tell you where it gets annoying. Antique stuff, antique gearboxes.
Well, yeah, because that's all imperial, right?
And then when you move into the 40s, 50s, and 60s, stuff, everything just gets really weird really fast. Okay. There are imperial things put together with metric fittings sometimes. Oh my God, wow. I hate having 2 sets of tools.
Okay, that sounds really weird. Looks like Simon has a different take on Brexit, which is again not quite the same take as me, but it's still legit.
Here's my take on Brexit. It is messy. There.
Yeah. Oh, Hawaii says that Sportsman's Guide sells genuine Ushanka hats from Russia.
I'm not Googling that right now. No.
Hold on.
Ushanka. I mean, what? Holy smokes, they do. And they're online available.
Jonathan, my mom bought my kids, there's a Russian store about 5 doors down from my mom's place, and because of Brexit, because of COVID, my mom can't go anywhere, so she just went to this Russian store and bought like all the gifts, and so like each of my girls got those Russian dolls, you pop them apart and there's another doll inside.
Oh, a nesting doll, yeah.
So like big honker, like a big one for Camille, and then for Clémence a smaller one. They're beautiful, man. And then something else that is over there, it's like another sort of bigger doll that hasn't, they're still making it the exact same way since like 1956. And the factory where it was made was called the
oh, that doll,
the Tuvo gunpowder plant. And I'm like, something doesn't compute here. But yeah, so so to me, the Russian hat, not a problem. I mean, if there's another people on the earth that knows how to do cold like us, it's them. Well, and anyone from Scandinavia or Greenland, I guess.
The Svalbard bearing or
Yeah,
dwelling
Svalbard.
Russians are terrifying. If I ever meet one, I'm just going to ask them for a sample of them so I can
Right.
learn. Like, hey, fill this book with all the things you know, and
With
then,
all your knowledge, yeah. Jonathan got a couple of Olights on the Black Friday sale.
nice.
You know what would have really, I feel a little silly about. So we're just 2 days ish past Boxing Day, which is to Canadians what Black Friday is to Americans, and I didn't buy a freaking shop vac.
Dude,
Like, what the hell, dude?
didn't you complain to me about that like a year ago?
And I totally forgot about it. I did buy 2 monitors though.
Okay, well, get a pass.
Not bushcraft stuff, so the moratorium doesn't. But it was
My lighting purchases look more like this than anything else.
I like that.
Thank you. I have like 5 of them.
Yeah. IRC says, here in Newfoundland, we have a cross between a coyote and a wolf. They are huge and are reducing the caribou population like crazy. We also have those in Quebec. It's like the eastern Canadian coyote. They're huge, and they are definitely. Well, I have read that they are actually interbred with wolves, which is why they're so big and chunky.
That sounds like something where you the same thing they do with hogs in Florida, you should do with them.
What, kill them?
Yeah, sell guides to go and shoot like 20 of them at a time and eat them.
Right. Provided I'm not too late, everyone say goodnight to Lakes and Hikes. Jonathan and IRC have just realized that they're both from Newfoundland.
20 watching, 14 likes. Come on, these are rookie numbers.
God, yeah.
Yeah, pump those numbers up.
It's hilarious. Outdoor is doing a group camp out at the end of January. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That sounds cool.
Do I have the proper smokeless, odorless fuel oil? Kincaid Outdoors, I do. And I have a couple of different types. This one is one of my favorites because it comes cheap, but it's not hard to get really, really pure, clear paraffin where I'm at. I can buy it basically by the gallon at this point.
Hold on a second. Just hold on. Can I do this?
It's a good note though, Kincaid. Yeah, air gets stale with more than one burning lamp per couples 100 square feet after a while. So,
but is that even with a window open though? Like, I thought if you had some airflow coming in from outside, you were okay.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like crack a window or something. It does help a lot, but the ambiance of an oil lamp cannot be beat. It's like a campfire for your table, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Grace, there's no way. There's no way that's a toboggan. A toboggan is a sled.
Yep.
Hey.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Not bad. How you doing?
We're all right.
I came kind of prepared for my Christmas show and tell.
Yeah, that's great. That's what I want to see.
Okay, so first I will share with you guys this really yummy beer, which is called
like this.
O'Fallon's Naughty Pretzel Beer.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it literally tastes like when you drink it, it tastes like you have a really good Pilsner beer that you're eating with a soft pretzel.
Wow. I love a soft pretzel.
That's like a whole experience, man.
I'm going to open it with this thing called a draft top, which turns your beer can into a cup.
All right.
Without getting a really sharp edge?
Yeah, I'll show you. I'm still learning the finesse of it.
That's cool.
And of course, I'm going to totally follow it up doing it live on the internet.
Welcome to my world. Did you see the head I did when I poured this beer? Oh no, you probably weren't around yet.
I was I was shaving and brushing my teeth at that time. So
Okay.
At the same time. Why do you
Yeah.
shave your teeth, sir?
so there's the beer top,
Okay.
and there's the you can actually
So does it sort of okay, like lip? So does the blade go under the lip then, so that you don't end up
Mhm.
with a jagged edge? Okay,
That's
Yep.
cool.
interesting.
I'm pretty on board with that, actually. Are the cans still? Do you do can deposit recycling where you're at?
no, I don't. I just do recycle bin kind of stuff. We don't have that in my state. Give me a second.
Interesting.
No, I was wondering if after using that thing, if we could still recycle a can.
Yeah.
All right. So there's my preparing for the I got beer all over my hands because I totally fouled that up, but
Dude, I have doused this entire desktop on screen before, so no judgment. No judgment.
We used to have some pretty great hijinks in the early days.
Yeah.
and it's American made, which is cool. It's like $20. This is probably like the one thing that I've gotten for Christmas that I've used the most since Christmas.
I like that. Buying domestic is a good habit.
Yeah.
This is
Once Austin's finished showing us everything, I want to have a conversation. Don't let me forget about buying domestic. Okay, keep going.
okay. This is my Weeha insulated screwdriver with this
Wow.
Dude.
with this James Bond bit set.
You know what's interesting about that? I have a less cool version of that from Lee Valley, where instead of everything sort of popping like that, it just sort of pops up.
Mm-hmm.
That looks way cooler.
Yeah, both of these things can be thanked to my Instagram browsing.
Okay.
This is I had linked these or mentioned these in a couple of your previous streams, which are
Yeah.
like Christmas gift ideas. This is from a company called Jacob Bromwell.
Okay. Wow,
And
that looks like a nice flask.
They're made in a handful of places, but they're copper. They're tinned copper. Dude, this was the best Black Friday thing I have ever seen. They were selling all the way up until Christmas for like between 100 and 150, depending on which one you got. I went on there today, and they're no joke selling these for $750.
Holy smokes, that's more than. Oh.
So, and I had seen these a long time ago, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, but there's no way I'd ever spend that much on a flask because I'd lose it or ding it up. But when I went on Black Friday, and I was like, there's no way. And I did the Wayback Machine to look and see like if I was right about the pricing.
Well, copper, man, right? Copper.
Yeah. But so that was kind of my Christmas gift to myself that my wife let me buy.
Well, I certainly won't be buying one of those.
Wait until next Black Friday.
Yeah.
And then this is my new, probably my favorite thing, my new Filson tin cloth apron that I got.
Oh,
boy.
nice. Nice.
So
Now, stand up. I want to see that thing. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Dude, I want one. I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
make one.
That's a cool apron.
yeah.
After this live stream, I'll be in my shop making one of those.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go. But yeah, I put this on my Christmas list, and I think I had like ruined 3 of my really good kind of everyday T-shirts from playing in the workshop, and I was like, I should probably have an apron for
Yeah.
crafting. So that's my Christmas. Santa was very nice to me this year.
Yeah, it looks like all 3 of us had a good haul this year.
So you
Yeah,
said
I like
remind you after I'm done to
Buy domestic, yeah.
In my other second channel, which is completely dormant, which is called Jesse Corbet, I talked about that whole buy local thing because I live in Montreal, right? So to me, local isn't Canada. It's like if you go westward, it could be to like Ottawa, which is about a 2-hour drive. If you go eastward, it could be to like maybe Quebec City,
Detroit.
northward, down south. Well, maybe not Detroit, but like definitely Vermont, New York State, right? Like local is if you stick a pin and you take a certain amount of string and you drag it all the way around.
Yeah.
Whereas to many people, buy local means within your province, within your state. Well, the thing is, in your state, there's a case to be made for that because all your states are really tiny, right? But Kuujjuaq is nowhere near Montreal, right? If you look at a map of Canada, there's no reason why buy local would be Quebec. Because I'm so close to Ontario and New York State and Vermont, right? So to me, the whole idea of buy local is it's a circle thing, right? So if I go right across the border to Vermont for something, it gets very awkward because exchange and duties and everything.
How?
But like,
I'm always curious. Like, how difficult is it to shove something underneath your seat on your way back from Vermont? Like, are they like? Do they like search your car through and through? And
not really. I mean, we have a much harder time going the other way, especially because the missus happens to be black.
Yeah.
The border is a dark place going south if you're not
suppose.
white. But generally speaking, we try not to buy too much. Look, they know that you're going to cheat a little bit. They absolutely know. And if you're not cheating for, a vast amount of money, like we always declare something, even if I have to buy something, because if you declare nothing, your chances of getting your car searched
then they raise your
whole lot higher.
eyebrows a lot more.
Yeah. So I always have something to declare, even if it's like just a little BS thing. Like, well, I bought this shirt. Does that count? I'm like, have a nice night, sir. Passe une bonne soirée, monsieur. Welcome home. And just like rolling their eyes. Like, this guy's an idiot. But I mean, I'm not getting searched,
Right.
But also, for reasons I don't want to go into online, I cannot test legal stuff for fear of being professionally embarrassing to several people in my family.
Yeah.
So I don't push the line at all.
Although that's a good habit for everyone.
Yeah.
There's no reason to. Besides, civil. Well, not get into the civil disobedience thing. Besides very extreme circumstances, it's not necessarily a good idea to push the limit just to put a middle finger to the system.
Yeah.
No,
there are cases when I would like to push that limit, like
Sure.
I want to sneak a bottle south and send it to someone or whatever, because alcohol is very, very bizarre. Getting it here into Quebec is very hard to do, kind of thing. But like nothing that's worth it, nothing that's worth pushing for.
Yeah.
See, just a little anecdote on the topic. I dated a Brazilian woman for almost 5 years, and would go, and I have had friends there since before that time. And when the Brazilian real was very strong, the best way for me to get cash was to like basically stuff my bag full of want items that people had.
Yeah.
And then
sell them.
I wouldn't, they would just pay me what I paid, but in real. So I would have like a big shopping list and go shopping like the week before I went.
Okay.
And yeah, like it was always one of those things like you'd mix bags. Like I'd have clothes and stuff and clothes, and I never got stopped. But I went and I was walking through the airport in Sao Paulo, and there were guys that had like 5 duffel bags that were unpacked and dress shirts like stacked to the ceiling.
Oh God.
Still in like plastic
wrap.
Just like, dude, how stupid could you be? So
Apparently quite stupid.
yeah.
Yeah. I just want to point this out. It says, Colin, I have 0 actual oil lamps. what I do have is refurbished jars that I purchased specialized wicks for, and just use them as oil lamps. Is that like a mason jar kind of thing?
Yeah, is there like a lid you could? I would be really interested to see that.
There's
Yeah.
a couple of ways. I looked into making oil lamps out of jars, but I never got
Oh.
around to it. I'd be interested to hear about it.
Check this out. You can get inserts for mason jars that turn them into oil lamps. Cliff
That
and
sounds
Colin,
awesome.
bringing the knowledge, eh? Interesting.
Cool.
In fact,
Oh, yeah, I know about this. I've seen these.
hey, bud.
Wow, that popped me up quick. I can actually show you what I'm talking about.
Yep, I want to see that.
Here, I'll pop off. I think I'm done sharing anyway. I'll let these guys have some more room.
All right.
Tyler. We can get 6 up here without any issues. And there he goes.
He's gone.
Basically, so Tostitos jar.
Yeah.
The cheese.
Uh-huh.
And then what I do is this is gonna get everywhere. I guess I'll just set it in my can over here. So I just drill a hole in the top.
Yeah.
Just put a wick in. Yeah, I
drill
see
my
it.
hole.
Yep.
And then the craft store by me actually sells their little candle inserts.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So glass stem, mushroom top, and then it sells their about 3-4 inch wicks.
Yeah,
And I just shove those in there, and that's what I use for my oil lamps.
nice.
That's pretty smart.
And this thing will burn for like 14 straight hours.
And you obviously don't have a cat.
No,
Yeah, I could
I'm
see
not
that.
a cat person.
Me
Yeah.
neither.
Cats are a-holes.
Oh, yeah, but they're soft and furry.
Oh, until they claw your face.
How can we get that link? Who do any of my
A link for.
I think he's the
what
only one.
Kincaid
mine.
just said here, for the inserts for the mason jars. I'm wondering if, yeah, because he can't send them. Okay, I'm gonna make you a mod for like 30 seconds so that you can share that. Oh, I can't do it.
You have
You've
to do
been
it on
un-
your YouTube side.
Okay, on the YouTube side. All right, I'm making you a moderator for like just long enough so you can give us that link. All right. Boom. Kincaid Outdoors is now a moderator on your channel. Use your powers for good.
I was listening to a podcast. I don't remember the one, but they're like, if you'd like to be a moderator on our Facebook page, just send us an email. And I was like, that, because that doesn't sound like a total recipe for disaster.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Yeah. Hey, what time is it?
It is 10:17 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
As I'm
About to say.
I'll tell you something. This PC, it never keeps the right time, and I don't know what's going on with that. I keep resetting it, and it just keeps
Really?
going off. Yeah.
Could your CMOS battery be dying?
Maybe. I don't know. I only built this computer like 2 years ago, but I guess that doesn't mean that the battery is not.
It could be, but it would unlikely if it's only 2 years old.
No,
No, my computer does that all the time to me, Jesse. It like constantly changes its own time.
bugs me. It bugs me massively. You know, up until this computer, every computer I've bought in the past 20 years has had an Apple on it. And I was like, I'm doing the Hackintosh thing because I can save $1,000. And the buyer's remorse is massive. Absolutely. Although I liked building it, and you know, it's a big meaty machine. But
Yeah, I have a.
Oh, thank God that actually did that.
I've got a 6-year-old MacBook Air, which I'm on now, and it starts to do this. It's starting to do this thing where it'll just like tell me that the system files are totally corrupt and essentially BSOD on me for no reason.
okay.
And it's been a great computer. I just don't know if I want to spend the money to figure out what's going wrong with it.
That link is up, by the way, guys.
Mason jar
for the mason jar.
lifestyle.com.
Yeah, I just clicked on it. It's literally for actual mason jar lights from like the ceiling.
Yeah, but there's probably like an option for wicks and stuff, because it looks like the whole for food and beverage storage, lids, drinking straw. Anyways, I'll take a look at that closer later. I don't want to
Oh yeah, you got to scroll way down there. They're way down there. We're at $10. Jesus. Yeah,
So
no, I just buy the little inserts at my local Hobby Lobby, and they're like $3 each.
Right. Huh, a lot of interesting stuff on that site, though. Yeah, yeah, I see the antique oil lamp tiki torch lid for regular mouth mason jars.
Yeah, way the heck at the bottom. $10, 10 or $11 plus whatever shipping and tax.
Yeah, interesting.
That's
Very,
why
very interesting.
searching the depths of eBay might find you some interesting results too.
Yeah, it's possible.
I lost my chat. Where did you go? Well,
It has disappeared.
I forgot to do my standard pop out, so YouTube chat was all disappeared.
So what else did you get, man?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, so to be honest, I don't actually celebrate Christmas. I can't stand the holiday personally. But I usually just buy myself a bunch of random stuff.
This is an interesting thing, because hey, bud.
Hey, what's up, dude?
All is well. All is well. I was just gonna say to Cliff that I have this really weird relationship with Christmas, because I kind of don't buy into what people say it's about. Like, it's all about family and everything, and yet everything we do teaches our kids that that's a lie. Everything we do teaches our kids that it's about gifts, right? The whole thing, Santa, first of all, aside from if you think about the dystopian aspect of Santa knowing everything that your children is doing and is a tool to keep them in line, troubles me. And like, look at the six.
Tell your children that there is no Santa Claus.
I don't know, because neither of my children have questioned it yet. To a certain extent, I whenever there's a question at all, I try to be as sort of, well, what do you think? Because I don't want to lie to my kids, but yet I do acknowledge that as the mysterious aspect of life gets torn away from us, it leaves a world that seems smaller some way, right? If there are no fairies and Santa Claus and ghosts and stuff, then the universe is a little smaller, because there's all this sort of supernatural stuff that just isn't there. And so I don't want to steal that from my daughters until they're ready for it. But I also don't want to, because I remember when I figured out that there was no Santa Claus, I was suddenly asking myself what else my parents were lying to me about, right?
Well, one time I woke up.
When I figured out there was no Santa.
One time I woke up and there was a note under my pillow and some coins, and it said, "It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Signed, the Tooth Fairy."
Really?
Yeah.
I guess a parent had decided that it was done.
Well, I guess that was my last tooth, or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, it's like it's hard to it's hard to know really how to play the whole this season thing. I mean, look at the success of a song like Santa Baby. The fact that song is a hit every single year tells us that it's sort of hinting at the reality of the season, that it is about gifts, that it is about all right, see you later, Dauber. That there isn't that aspect to it.
Great music written around Christmas. I mean, like "I'll Be Home for Christmas." That was
catchy music is all.
Yeah.
See,
well, it meant something to all the. That was like a World War II song that meant a lot to the.
Yeah.
I'll be home
for the troops coming home.
Yeah, because there was a pretty good chance that you wouldn't be coming home.
Yeah.
So it meant something.
Oh yeah, I also want to say to I think it's Colin says that Eartha Kitt was so amazing. I'm not dissing Eartha. I'm specifically dissing that one song and how it just. But look at Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. What's the message in that song? right? You're shunned by your peers, and then suddenly you're important, so they accept you.
That's kind
What
of
is-
life, though.
I'd have to sit down and analyze the song lyric, which I have never done.
It's like, holy crap, dude. I do this thing every year, which I forgot to do this year, where in the week leading up to Christmas, I take down a Christmas song. Like I write something scathing about a Christmas song. And I did Santa, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer a few times because it's just, I can't, you know?
When I was growing up, it was cool being Jewish because there were 8 nights to Hanukkah.
Yeah.
And for Christmas, you might only get one gift, but my folks got me something for each night, you know.
Right.
That's
So
like the old.
wow, I'm lucky I'm Jewish because I get 8 gifts, so you just might get one. So
It's like the old Adam Sandler.
but you grow up and you light the
Crazy
Hanukkah
night.
candles, and it's like, you know, it's like your ancestors are with you somehow. Just looking
Okay,
at the
so Hawaii, you got a gift every night instead of like Hanukkah gelt, because I know some people who just got Hanukkah gelt. And
well, Hanukkah gelt was like for playing with the dreidel.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
depending on how it landed, you win or lose,
Yeah.
depending on what the letter came up.
right.
Guys, I'm gonna take off. I hope you guys have a good night.
All right,
And
see you later.
Happy New Year.
Take her off.
Happy New Year! Congratulations on your beer can opener thing. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
that thing is cool.
What's it called again?
It's called a draft top.
A draft top.
Yep.
Oh, I have to check one of those out, man.
Yeah, I've been seeing
Yeah.
those things everywhere lately,
Yep. All right. Take care, guys.
All right, see you
or at
later.
least in like online advertisement. But yeah, no, going back to the whole Hanukkah thing and the 8 crazy nights. But the thing is, that's you're only you might get those 7 or 8 presents from one family member. In the States, when we did Christmas when you're younger, you get presents from your mom and your dad and every one of your aunts and uncles.
Yep.
So you could end up Christmas Day or Christmas morning with like 15, 20 presents to open.
Yeah.
As opposed to the 7 you're going to get or 8 that you're going to get from Hanukkah, only from your family, not from everybody else's family, just from your parents.
I hadn't even thought of that. You know, it's funny because I used to work at the Jewish General Hospital. Had no, it wasn't run by the Jewish General Hospital, but there's the Jewish Nursing Home, which was an old folks home, and I worked there for a number of years. And every year at around this time, obviously there was a lot of Hanukkah going on, but a lot of these people were knitting Christmas gifts as well, because I guess in Montreal, Christmas is so huge that they couldn't ignore that it was there. Not all of them, right? It was like a 50-50 mix. And so some of them every year would wish me a happy Christmas, and the others obviously didn't. But it was interesting.
Happy Christmas, why? Happy
You know?
Christmas, Merry Christmas, why?
I don't know. What do you mean?
Why wouldn't people wish you a Merry Christmas?
Oh, look, these people were like 94, right? I mean, I wasn't gonna, judge anyway, but some of them were just didn't want to deal with. Okay, here's the thing. I'll tell you exactly why. I have a good friend who is Jewish, and he doesn't like the whole Christmas thing because it's so overwhelming, which I agree with.
It is.
You know, because this is a city where not everyone comes from a Christian background. Okay, like a large segment of the city does not come from a Christian background, and they still have it thrown in their face. And so I can appreciate that opinion, especially because as someone who is non-religious, essentially, I have no dog in the fight. I like getting some gifts. I love giving gifts.
I just like when people are happy, and
yeah, and I agree with that.
And you can wish somebody Merry Christmas that you don't even know, and it'll mean something.
Yeah,
and it's cool.
Well, not always, because for a lot of people, depending on where you're at, Christmas can actually be a time of mourning. And not like
if you say Merry Christmas and somebody wants to punch you in the face, that they've got a problem, not you.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's because if they're grumpy on that side when you wish them that, it's most likely because they're remembering that a family member died on that day. I mean, if I had a family member
So
die,
what you're saying is it's rough for God.
I wouldn't be happy on that day if I every year having to remember that family member passed away.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's it's almost an edge case, though.
Yeah.
You know, anyway, it's not even that interesting a discussion. Like I have no dog in the fight. I find that the holiday is over commercialized, and yet I buy my kids all kinds of gifts, so I'm part of the problem. So I just put the blinders on, get through this time of the year. I like the music. I like Christmas carols. I like the old school, like the carols. I like Christmas songs if they're like Bing Crosby, stuff like that. The stuff that I grew up with. I have a slightly harder time with Mariah Carey, to be honest with you. A few years ago, what?
Mariah Scary.
Yeah, a few years ago, like Avril Lavigne put out a Christmas carol that was obviously she was way outclassed by that song. The version is terrible, but I guess I like the stuff that I have childhood memories to, because I'm a person, I've said before, and I'm not going into this at all, but I have almost no childhood memories. I have almost no early teenage memories. I've blocked out most of my life, but I do have memories associated with certain songs. They're more feelings than like rock solid memories, or like I get a flash of where I was. And songs, even more than smells, really do that. Well, certain smells do as well, but songs really, really work for me on that level. So I feel like an inherent warmth towards certain Christmas songs that were around when I was a child, like back in the 70s,
Yeah, it definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the older schools, the old school Christmas songs are really good. But like you said, newer ones are some of them are just they want to just punch you right in the throat and leave you to die on the sidewalk.
Let's just be dramatic, shall we?
Let's
just let it all hang out. Oh yes, whenever I hear a Christmas song, I just want to.
Oh wait, you made a good
some of the
thing.
newer ones, not all songs, but I mean, like some of the newer like remixes that they do. It just hurts sometimes listening to them.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And they're not all bad, but I do have a hard time with some of the. Man, we're sounding like a bunch of grumpy old guys, eh?
I'm trying to be Mr. Happy here, but
I kind of want to be like, get off my lawn.
Or get off my porch, youngin.
Yeah, I like what Hike with Mike said. As I get older, I focus less on the gifts and more on the food and drink. Yep, I like it. Tyler says Christmas is genuinely overwhelming and pushy where I live, and I think that that's very universal in a lot of North American cities. Hike also agrees with me that a melody brings back a memory. Absolutely. Tyler is agreeing with you, Hawaii. 99% of the folks I'm around will find it well received if you're not simply saying it because you rehearsed it, and I think that that's right. Absolutely. Hike with Mike. Get out of my swamp. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. Every year some fool wants to say that there's a war on Christmas and blah 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 blah, but at the end of the day, almost no one is really that bothered by. Like if someone gives you a seasonal greeting, whether it's a Christmas thing, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, anything. If you're saying it in a kind way because you're just being a reasonable person, it's not really going to cause an issue. If you're throwing it at someone because it's part of your spiel, then it kind of doesn't matter what you're saying, and that's the problem. Because then you're just sort of saying it, by rote, just to be polite, and I think that that's where the problem can really, I'm looking for an English term here.
I wonder if somebody said Merry Christmas and somebody was so offended by that they filed a complaint with Human Services where they work, Human Resources Department.
Somebody pulled a Karen.
That might be true somewhere, but I think that kind of stuff really honestly is so rare that it's practically not worth, thinking about.
Well, that's what I'm looking for. A lot of people say happy holidays instead of like specific generalized days because some people get offended by that. So I don't know why.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that most people do, though. That's why I sort of say I don't let that stuff stress me, man. I don't. I say happy holidays or happy Christmas, depending. I just don't like saying Happy New Year. That one always just feels so cheesy.
Yeah, and it's just the same day as the last day. Just the
You
start
know?
of another season of who knows what the heck is going to happen.
Yeah, yeah, just so damned arbitrary. New Year's.
Yeah, well, the
Dumb.
thing is, in the States, those particular holidays, the New Year's, dude, everybody lights off fireworks like crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I went to Walmart to pick up some food supplies and stuff, and there was like a whole ton of fireworks.
Yeah.
5 rows of fireworks, 5 aisles, stacked.
For New Year's?
Yeah, in the States, New Year's, it's a big thing for some bizarre reason.
No, for you guys, you know what's big in the States that I find weird is
4th of July?
Thanksgiving. No,
Yeah.
4th of July I can understand because
What's weird about Thanksgiving? What don't you understand about Thanksgiving?
for you guys it's practically bigger than Christmas, man.
It's the second biggest holiday aside from Christmas.
Yeah, whereas for us, I mean, Thanksgiving, granted, ours is like a month before yours, but it's nowhere near that big. And there's no like Black Friday right afterwards, right? For us, Black Friday happens the day after Christmas, and it's called Boxing Day.
Thanksgiving, everybody gets together, watches football, and eats so much food that they pass out into a coma.
Yeah, and we don't necessarily have the football thing, but yeah, here everyone gets together. Actually, if you're in a family like mine, where most of my in-laws are American, you do 2 Thanksgivings a year, right? We did ours, and then we did yours on American Thanksgiving, obviously over Zoom. We didn't go south this year. But it's weird because, man, American Thanksgiving is so much more Hollywood than Canadian Thanksgiving is. Canadian Thanksgiving is a very family event, big meal, lots of people are on the table, but like there's
everybody gets together and fights, right?
Well, isn't that every holiday?
Isn't that every family? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But anyways, yeah, it's just I every year I'm reminded. No, I used to find it more bizarre than I do now because I've sort of gotten used to it with that many Americans in my family. But it's just, of all the holidays to be that big, why that one? Like,
Just gathering of food. It's kind of it's almost like a family reunion of sorts for a holiday, if you want to go with that route.
yeah, okay.
Well,
Hike with Mike says, oh no, wait, that's not the right one. Hike with Mike says that. Hold on a second. It's not appearing in the StreamYard window, but in the YouTube window, Hike with Mike said that Tabernacle, I lost it. Canadians are more mellow than Americans, except on the hockey rink.
I don't know about that.
Canadians are a bunch of keep the hockey rink up.
He says, Thanksgiving is odd. This is Tyler. We make a ridiculous deal out of something that I wish felt more reverent and gratefulness oriented, much like Christmas. I think in the States there's a more religious aspect to Thanksgiving, or there was than there was in Canada. Because there are a lot of countries that have Thanksgivings, but they're not all like associated in the same way with like Puritans and sort of Plymouth Rocky kind of things as the American Thanksgiving is sold to us. Because all we get to know about American Thanksgiving is what TV shows us, right? Puritans, buckle hats, Injuns.
I've never met a Puritan.
Nor have I.
I've never met anybody that wears a buckle hat.
Nor have I. But I mean, the origins of Thanksgiving in Canada don't come from the same place as the origins of Thanksgiving in the United States. And I wonder if maybe that's because there's no sort of founding of the nation aspect sort of in the back, the way it is for Thanksgiving in the States.
Yeah.
In fact, hold on. Tyler just said something. It came out of harvest season for us. It has its roots in our signature rugged independence. Yeah, so I don't know, because the story of Thanksgiving in Canada is very, very...
What is story of Thanksgiving in Canada.
Well, that's the thing. It's moved around. It's been abolished and then brought back. And,
Wait, who abolished Thanksgiving?
well, the government. And then they moved the date and everything. It's
Of course.
and there's a lot of legends about Thanksgiving in Canada, but I don't know what to believe. One of the reasons they said that they brought it back is because they were being thankful because some member of the royal family came through a life-threatening disease. So, the empire celebrated, or Canada celebrated. I don't remember which. But I don't know what the hell to believe. It's all legend at this point.
Yeah, I would say bring back Thanksgiving and abolish the government. You'd be better off.
Well, I still want my roads paved, dude.
You can hire a road maintenance. You form a road maintenance association and work better than your government. That's what I have up here.
Yeah, I think it might be a little more expensive in the long run, though. As an American, Thanksgiving is more spiritual and is more family oriented and less consumerized than Christmas.
I have to agree with him. I half don't agree with him because you still have the aspect of.
Well, what I was going to say is, I find it weird, and I don't want to piss on your rug, okay? I don't want to be, but I find it weird that everyone's all thankful one day, and then the very next day they're beating each other up over, cheap deals at Walmart. Because you followed up with Black Friday, which is what a lot of businesses depend on to get through the Christmas season, right? Get through to the Christmas season.
Well, for now, at least people have stopped fighting over toilet paper. I remember there was a video about two women fighting over toilet paper.
Yeah.
The first,
we have toilet paper shortages in this country. It's stupid. So you can't survive on toilet paper.
No, you can't. Good night, Mark. Everyone say good night to Mark Pootmans. He's on his way out.
Good night, Mark Pootman.
Tyler is throwing out a he's opening the can. Libertarians hate roads.
Hate roads, right?
Only teasing, not opening the can. Okay.
Man, I don't need a road. I got a new Jeep Cherokee. Who needs roads?
I live in a major metropolitan area. I really need roads, and I drive a Mazda.
What we need to do is we need to go back in time and hire all the Romans that built all the roads to build our roads now.
No, we can't because they're going to be busy baking bread until you get
to make your bread. I want to hear about your bread making. By the way, if you get that loaf done and you do it upright, I want to hear about it because there are many reasons why it's a good idea to know how to make bread. First of all, because the kitchen smells great, but also just in a prepping or bushcrafting sense, it's good to have that skill because flour and water are cheap. Buying bread is not. And at the end of the day, if something happens, there's only 3 days of food in most cities' supermarkets. So being able to bake your own damn bread is a good skill to have.
Yeah, but I have I never did a video showing all my number 10 cans of Mountain House or my 2 big containers of sterilite containers full of individual freeze-dried foods and my 50-pound bags of rice. There's channels that's all they do. They just go out, buy food, and say, "This is what I got this week," and it's what I got. And it's just the buying food channel. Personally, I've been more interested in watching cooking channels lately, because I've a long time ago on my live stream that I used to do, Lock and Load, that one of my panelists asked me, "Okay, what if the shit hits the fan? What shit hit the fan survival skills do you actually have?" And he said, "Well, can you cook?" And to me, asking me if I'm a cook means have I had any professional training or something, or and I have a weakness for baking is my weak point when cooking. I've been a baker for 56 years, so I've learned to adapt very well. There's some great stuff that I can make, but baking has not been anything that I've even tried my entire life.
I'm also very bad at it.
I make a lot of great dishes. It's just baking is the one. So I've been, learning. That's something one of the things I've been learning to do. And lately, my latest skill that I've learned to do has nothing to do with anything except my Airbnb, but it's like learning to when I have to strip the sheets after each new guest, and I book solid right now. Every 3 days somebody comes, and then I have like 1 day to clean up the place and wash all the bed sheets and towels and everything. But the hardest thing I've had to do is learn how to take off, put back on the duvet cover after I've washed it onto the duvet.
Yeah, that sucks. I hate that.
It's inside out. You have to turn the duvet cover inside out and fold the thing in backwards and tie. There's 4 tie downs on each side. Man, it takes me like an hour. One time it took me like 2 hours the first time because I did it wrong twice somehow. It was like 2 hours just trying to get the cover on a duvet, because I'm making money, like $135 a night, and I'm booked solid, but it's like, every 3 days I got to wash everything and sterilize, sanitize the place, and I like my last trip to Home Depot, I got like a bunch of more cleaning supplies, and I've got every type of spray and cleaning liquid fluid solution I could possibly need.
Just use vinegar, dude. Just use vinegar. That's what I do. My wife and I do not agree on this because she's all about the products, and I just use vinegar. She's like, it smells like crap, and I'm like, but it smells like clean. I do want to say, Austin's Corner said, I wish we had 2 Thanksgivings. I think he means instead of a Thanksgiving and a Christmas. In many ways, it's commercial, but at least there's no expectation of bringing the perfect gift. And he's sort of hitting at what I was saying, that we've long lost the family aspect of Christmas in a real sense. It has become about gifts and food, and I'm okay with gifts and food. I'm also okay with spending time with family, so long as it's not families pretending to like each other for the night. I also like oh no, I've had some drinks, so I keep mixing up Cliff and Colin, but this is Colin, I think. I avoid it because to me Black Friday is point. No, this is you, Cliff.
That's me.
Well, what are you doing on screen and dropping notes in the side chat?
Multitasking.
Austin says Black Friday has turned into a time when most people buy for themselves things they need a deal on rather than shopping. I agree with that. And that's the way I think you mean Christmas shopping, right? Oh yeah. In fact, he does say a little later, shopping for gifts. I'm Canadian, so I have an out, right? Boxing Day happens the day after Christmas. It's traditionally the day when people return the stuff that they kind of didn't want to get and get a deal on something else. As I said, I bought myself some new monitors because I save up. No, I don't save up. What am I talking about? I wait until Boxing Day for stuff that is kind of a big ticket item that I kind of don't want to spend money on. And I know that I'll save a little money. Like the monitors, I wanted them to be like, they're normally $400 each. I'm just throwing a number out there. I don't remember. And so I wanted to see if I could get them for, you're not going to get anything for half off anymore, but what I could get a deal on. And there was a deal, so I bought them.
What kind of monitors?
They're Samsung. They're 4K. This is also a Samsung 4K monitor, but this particular monitor has a blue tint that makes it impossible for me to color correct my videos, and these other ones don't. So I'm like, all right. And I offered this one to my wife, and she said no, so I'm going to sell it. But like, so for me, I see Boxing Day the way Austin is saying people see Black Friday, in that maybe they've been waiting, they need a new fridge or something. And because we have so much access to like the United States because of my in-laws, we've taken advantage of Black Friday, because now Canadian businesses are doing Black Friday as well because there's so much pressure from American business, but the deal sure as hell ain't the same. There ain't enough people in this country to get the kind of what do you call it? Economies of scale. The kind of economies of scale that make those kind of discounts, possible.
So we get some
you know what's impossible to get around here is those chest freezers.
Yeah,
they're in high demand, and they all every time I go there, they're always sold out.
Yeah, I had one of those die on me a couple of months ago. So we had 2. Now we've got 1, and they're the half-size ones. So, but anyways, so
The best time
Simo
to go
signed up.
shopping for those well freezers is like early October,
Okay.
because you don't really need them for anything. But I mean, for the most part, the reason why those things are sold out this year in this country is due to the pandemic.
Yeah.
Everybody
absolutely.
bought those things so they could store up meat for the year, just in case everything went sideways.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
normally, if you want one of those tank freezers, October would probably be the best time to buy them, right during the middle of winter.
Yeah. I guess because it's like buying clothes, right?
Yeah.
In winters when you buy your spring clothes, because stupid. In spring is when you buy your summer clothes in summer, and I
Yep.
can see the same thing sort of maybe being there being a case for that kind of thing as well.
Doesn't apply where I live, though. You know, I'm more affected by shipping issues than weather is like the same in winter and summer pretty much here. By
Yeah.
the way, if nobody noticed, we have an active volcano where I live going up.
I
Yeah,
saw that.
I've been paying attention to that because Johnny's over there too on that same
Yep.
continent or same area. So I've been keeping an eye on that.
How close is that to you, Hawaii?
2 miles.
2 miles. So
Ooh, so you're in the evac zone if that thing goes.
Well,
he's not going to evacuate.
yeah. This isn't the kind of volcano that explodes like Cinnabung or something like that. It's a different kind of volcano. It just leaks all the time, basically. And we had, we have small earthquakes, but like I'm from California, and these earthquakes don't bother me.
I was going to say, so you know what an earthquake feels like.
You can
Yeah,
sleep.
these are. But one time I remember I was on Swanson's chat, and somebody was saying, "Oh, I saw that the volcano was erupting." I was like, "Yeah, I was all the way over in Kona," and I was like, "Yeah, all right, whatever. I've been living here for 20 years. That volcano never did anything." And then like 1 minute later, my whole condo starts shaking.
Right. Here's something that Hike with Mike is saying. Least favorite holidays, New Year's and 4th of July. It's nothing but a fireworks fest, and I have family members with military, police, PTSD, and it's not pleasant if you have a baby. Good luck getting to sleep. Yeah, because the 1st of July, well, we don't call it the 1st of July. We call it Canada Day. It's very, very similar to your 4th of July. Fireworks, concerts down here at the Old Port, and in Ottawa, Parliament Hill turns into a massive concert stadium. They put a stage up in front of the Parliament buildings and stuff like that. I mean, it's very similar to the 4th of July in many ways.
Party.
But yeah, it's a massive party. But it is interesting that people with like combat related PTSD can sometimes have a really hard time with fireworks. And like I only think of this because I do know people now with PTSD. There are service members in my family, though. Not talking about that online, and they don't talk about that with me. But in like a knock-on way, I do know people who have combat-related PTSD, and when the fireworks start going off, these people can shit their pants, can shift their pants, because of stuff happening in their heads. And I never thought about that before.
We have people trying to kill you can have a pretty big impact on your life.
Yeah, I'm just going to spin this whiskey to piss off Austin. He made a comment before that if I kept spinning the whiskey, I was going to send it into orbit.
I was just waiting for it to like swirl out of the cup.
At least it looks like a whiskey glass.
Yeah, this is the mighty Glencairn. These glasses are designed specifically for whiskey tasting. The whole design of them is so that, like, when you're trying to take a sip, all the les odeurs, the smells, the aromas. Thank you. They are aimed right into your nose because, as you guys know, so much of taste happens in the nose. So
yeah, it's I think they refer to them as snifters.
Snifters are bigger. It's the same idea though, and they're more like for brandy and stuff. They're bigger, and they sort of
Glencairn glasses, and I got the little thing to clean them with too. They make a custom one shaped like that for cleaning them. Yeah,
interesting. Jason McDaniel says, I'm going to start that entire sentence again. And take two. I actually have not yet been to any stores on Black Friday in my life, and I plan not to go in the future either. No, that's a stankin' lie. The missus has. I have avoided it like the plague. Because I'm one of these people, when I see people beating each other up over when I see people beating each other up over a TV, I'm like, you're all stupid. It's a TV.
I walked in front of when I was at Walmart the other day, I walked in front of all the TVs, and they were pretty reasonably priced for like the most awesome TV they have. There was this huge thing with perfectly, I don't know, it was ginormous, and it was like 700 and something.
Yeah,
TVs are nowhere near as expensive as they used to be.
But considering how much silver in them, is in those things.
TVs are nowhere near as expensive as they used to be. I do believe that TVs will get more expensive. This is going to get really boring, but because a lot of the elements that go into TVs are becoming rarer, I think that they will probably start to go up in price at some point over the next few years, unless they completely change the technology. But it's unbelievable what you can get for like $1,000 or less these days. I'm saying this because we've been using the same TV for 15 years, and man, we are looking to upgrade. So I've been looking into it lately.
I haven't even plugged the TVs in the main house where I live. The only TV that works the TVs that I have in the main house are just hooked up to my Blu-ray player. The only TV that actually has cable hooked up to it is the one in the guest suite. So the paying customers can watch it, but
right.
I don't actually come here to look at TV. So it's it's
funny that you say that, because the one episode of Game of Thrones I've ever seen in my life was at a hotel in New Jersey. The missus and I had gone down because one of her cousins was getting married, and the wedding was in Jersey because just people in New York use Jersey the way people in Montreal use Laval. It's cheaper. It's not as nice, but it's cheaper. So the marriage was at a hotel in Jersey, and our room was in that hotel. We got back after the wedding. I loosened my tie. I sit down like, hey, they've got a really big TV in here. I wonder what's on. Click, and I turned it on, and it's like Game of Thrones, which I've never seen, but everyone else is watching, and it's the Red Wedding episode. Which, if you've never seen Game of Thrones, that's not the episode to watch if you think you might want to see, and you're not looking for spoilers.
I've never watched a single episode.
You know what? I decided I wasn't going to watch it because by the time we cut the cable, right? So for us, getting it was an issue. But
why did you cut your cable?
It's too expensive. And it's funny because part of the reason I cut the cable is coming back to bite me, because I hated the idea that I had to get a whole package if I wanted one channel. Like if I wanted ESPN, I had to take the whole sports package, which was ESPN, ESPN2, RDS, which is the French version, this, that, and the other. I just wanted to watch the frickin' World Cup. I wanted one channel, and I have to buy a whole package, which is an extra like $10 or $20. So it's like, you know what? No. We're getting one of those digital antennae. We're getting Netflix. And we were great. Amazing until the subscription services started turning into it's like we've traded in. This is not what tonight's live stream is about, so I'll make it very quick. We've traded in having to buy a whole package for one channel for having to get an entire subscription service for one show. Say The Mandalorian. Speaking as someone who loves Star Wars and hates Disney, if I want to see The Mandalorian, I have to get Disney Plus.
Yep.
Wildcard, my kids want to watch.
I didn't watch it because of that. I said, I don't really need to subscribe just to watch a show that should have been, if some lawyer didn't screw up 30 years ago, it should have been run by 20th Century Fox, which should have never been bought by Disney except for red accountants with red pencils. So
But, I mean, so like I don't want to dive too deep into this, but it's frustrating that the reason we cut the cable is starting to swing around.
well, I'm turning the whole thing around because I've got a theta edge node, and in case nobody knows what that is, it's theta's like a peer-to-peer broadband cryptocurrency solution, and basically the problem with the internet is there's not enough broadband for it. That's why everything has slow spinning circles when you look at a video. So basically what this thing does is you can go to their website and download some software, and you can share your broadband and computing power and get paid out in cryptocurrency for doing it.
Right.
And so that's what I'm doing. Like right now, I've got my Theta Edge node running in the background. And so in theory, Internet 2.0 will be Theta, and you'll need Theta fuel to run it. And I'm making it for free, basically just by having it run in the background on the system. So it's turning the whole cable thing around because it's decentralized broadband.
Right.
There's nobody that can afford to build out anymore. Go ahead. You want to say something, and I keep talking.
Oh no, you're good. No, I didn't want to interrupt, but Jesse's going to be mad at the current denomination of time we are at because we're in a good. This is a good rhythm too.
We're
What time
over.
is it? Are we over?
Yeah, it's
we're over.
2 hours on your end.
Okay, in that case, I just want to say a few things. Hike with Mike says, I rarely use our TV because we don't do the cable rip-off, so everything we watch is on the PC or the phone, which I appreciate. And what he says, other than rabid sports fans, right there, that's where what we did falls flat. If you're into sports, the NHL, forget it. Stick with cable because it just becomes too expensive. He then followed up with, if you want to watch the World Cup, go to the local pub. Also legit, except if the World Cup is a place where the games are on at like 4 a.m. because last call in Montreal is 3 a.m. But aside from that, thanks to everyone who hung out tonight and told us about your cool Christmas gifts. I really liked hearing about them. And we kind of went off the rails a little bit, but we sort of brought it back. I'm working on trying to stick more to this subject matter in the future. But I'm happy to have had you guys hanging with us. For everyone out there and everyone in the side chat and anyone who's going to watch this time shifted, I'm thinking about you, Johnny. Until next week, stay healthy, stay safe, stay sane, and be kind to each other. Thanks a lot, guys. Good night.
Thank you, everybody.